With the Pope's first new rules, whispers about the conclave started going around and the idea of a big split in the church started to worry people again. It's not just about jobs or duties, there's a bigger, more important change that's starting to happen. Keep watching to find out the whole story. Things looked calm on the outside, but a really big battle was being fought. As the cardinals met in the Sistine Chapel to choose the new pope, things were not peaceful at all. A lot more was on the line than just picking one person. It was about preventing a collapse. The church was, and still is, in a deep crisis of spirit, of teachings, and of guiding its people. The divisions are obvious. But what the media didn't say is that, behind closed doors, the church's top leaders also know all about it. Robert Prevost, an American Augustinian with a lot of experience as a missionary in Peru, was only considered after other choices were turned down, almost like a last resort. Cardinals like Parolin and Tagle, who agreed with Bergoglio's ideas, blocked each other. They couldn't team up, so things got stuck. Meanwhile, the cardinals with more traditional views about church teachings like Burke, Serra and Erdo couldn't get enough votes even though they had some support at first. It was a total flop. When Erdo, the candidate from Hungary, didn't win, it left a big space where a leader should be. He was a person that people had strong, different opinions about, and this made things even more tense among the cardinals. This empty space made everyone feel unsure for a bit, and then Prevost's name started to come up as someone who might be a good fit. Good sources tell us that the support for Prevost was super important, not like what people thought at first. It wasn't like all the old school guys teamed up. Instead, it was a mix of different ideas. The key support, it turns out, came from well-known groups who like new ideas, like Cardinal Cupic from the United States, and from groups from Asia and Africa. This diverse backing was crucial. These groups, who are often seen as the beacon of hope for the church, found in Leo XIV someone everyone could agree on, able to handle the tricky issues of world politics. But the clearest truth is just one thing. Leo XIV wasn't chosen to change the teachings or to bring back old traditions, but to keep the church united and strong. His role was to be a bridge, ensuring stability and unity. A pope for unity, his job is to keep the church strong and together. This job of unity is super important. Cardinal Giovanni Battista Re emphasized this during Mass. The church's unity is its strength. Everyone getting along, peace and quiet, and solving arguments from the inside. No mention of Francis, no push for big new changes. The message was crystal clear. Move forward, but without making things confusing. Can you bring together a church that's broken apart, split like that apple from the Adam and Eve story, without speaking the truth plainly, without deciding once and for all what is doctrine, the right teaching, and what instead is heresy, meaning something completely forbidden? And now, let's talk about the German issue. The German synodal way has, for a long time, been seen as a bumpy road, a real tough journey, and yet it's still a very important part of the church. Now, we can't just pretend that everything is okay anymore. The challenges are real, and the discussions are intense. But addressing these issues is crucial for the future of the church. The German schism isn't just a threat, it's a reality that's unfolding, showing itself to a world meeting of bishops who are too careful to call it that. What Bishop Georg Botzing says in public, the German Bishops' Conference president, make it very clear. The schism is not just a distant possibility but a present and pressing issue. He openly showed his support for women becoming priests, getting cheers and agreement, not at a Catholic meeting, but at the Protestant church meeting in Germany. That place has a really strong meaning, a place where people weren't really focused on Christian unity anymore, and instead, they talked about making different beliefs the same, which just leads to nothing. And Botzing isn't the only one. The German leaders all share the same idea. They point out the Catholic Church's past mistakes, from its teachings on sex all the way to keeping women out of the priesthood, and they are pushing for changes in church ways that go against the old teachings. All of a sudden things got a lot calmer. Those strong statements just disappeared. Now their answers are careful, a bit unclear, and sometimes they even try to dodge the question. Botzing didn't take back what he said. Now he talks about processes, careful thought, and listening to different cultures. It sounds like he's using a tactic, a bit like the boiled frog strategy. They didn't back down, but they sure did slow things way down. There's no real proof and nothing official has been said. But a question is buzzing around among experts and folks in the Vatican. Did they get a call from Rome? Maybe a call, official or not, just to remind them that taking strong stands could weaken the church and pull everyone apart? We're not sure, but the timing really makes you wonder. After Pope Leo XIV was chosen, he's known for being careful and a pro at church law. German caution all of a sudden became super important. Maybe just to buy some time, or maybe because the new pope, without saying anything out loud, is letting it be known that he doesn't want to get mixed up in a fight about big ideas. The push for the progressive agenda has slowed down a bit, nothing too big, you know. But at this point in the story, any hesitation from those pushing for big changes, how can I put it, it's like a crack in what they're sure about. This crack could grow much bigger. Electing him was just the start. Now they have to shape his public image, molding it carefully to fit their vision. As soon as Leo XIV's name was announced, key people from the more forward-thinking side quickly started to tell everyone what his time as pope would be like, even before he officially started. Cardinals like Cupich and Hollerich, backed by news outlets that had a very clear agenda, confidently said the new pope would follow right in Francis's footsteps. Some even suggested he would finish Francis's plans, like synodality, you know, the church working together and listening more and inclusion, and that the church would re-examine its moral teachings, taking all of this for granted, as if Leo XIV was just going to be a direct copy of the pope before him. But you can spot some differences. The new pope, an Augustinian and a canon lawyer, seems modest, private, and thoughtful. He hasn't made any confusing statements or shared strong views. He's been very careful with his words, and that's why it's easy for people to get them wrong. While he's quiet, other people are talking for him, guessing what he means, trying to explain it, or even twisting his silence. It's like they say, some people like to fish in muddy waters. The Pope hasn't said clearly what he thinks about some tough subjects yet, but this quietness has started a real war of stories, where the main thing isn't to find out what he really thinks, but to create a public picture of him that helps what some people want. It's a bit like that idea, you know? Change everything just so everything can stay the same. Pope Leo XIV starts his time as Pope with quiet but clear actions. His first moves aren't a huge shakeup, but they tell a lot to people who notice details, kind of like the lucky routines our soccer players have. Pietro Parolin stays as Secretary of State, a sign he wants things to run smoothly and stay steady, which is super important to avoid big upsets when things are already tense, kind of like a coffee break in a storm. But the biggest update is about what's happening with the Synod. Jean-Claude Hollerich and Mario Grech are still key players in the Synod process, even though their views have caused some disagreement. The first one, Hollerich, is especially known for his pretty unique takes on the Church's moral teachings. Even though Leo XIV isn't promoting him, he's keeping him in the spotlight and watching him closely. It's wise not to rush to judgment. Careful thought and, above all, prayer are essential. Pray that the Pope has the wisdom and courage to lead. Share your thoughts honestly. What do you think? If you liked the video, write Amen in the comments. God bless you.